I go to LA to record. I got introduced to Bruno
Mars.
Bruno Mars. So they were kind of like being introduced as Phil and Bruno. Then it was his writing partner, Phil Lawrence.
Okay.
Love both of these guys. And so funny, so charming. But I didn't know him, you know, so it was going to be my first time kind of like opening up and sharing my creative space with somebody I didn't know.
Right.
But it was my A&R, Mike Karen. It was his idea to say, man, maybe you guys could come up with something together.
Right.
And like, again, like he's another genius type, you know what I mean, mega mind on the executive level, because he's around already ahead of the curve about a lot of the stuff. He saw Bruno before anybody else did.
Right.
I mean, like, you know. So with that, we go in the studio, and I'm like, all right, okay. I played him some stuff I was working with, and we just had some general conversations. And I was like, I don't know if I like the vibe. So I said, I'll be right back. I'm going to use the restroom. And I just left, and I never came back, which was, you know, disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. And I didn't realize that. So I apologized to them. Make a long story short, we ended up getting back together again. They were gracious. But he said, okay, man, but this time, can you come over to our spot?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. So I went to a spot that they had, and every time I'm out in LA, I ride past it because I don't know if it's there. I doubt he still uses that place anymore. But I walk in the door, and he says, so I got this idea. Now, check it out. You know, hear me out. I see you driving around town with the girl I love. Fuck you. But he said, but I don't know if I want to say fuck you. I don't know if it's bump you, forget you, never mind you, riding around town, cruising around town. So we were just kind of going with the right phrasing. And I eventually said, I immediately said, I love it. Because, to answer your question, I wanted to spike the record label. I said, if y'all don't like the music that I'm doing, then drop me. I mean, like, I'm thinking I'm going to get dropped because of this record.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I did it to be absurd and ridiculous and disrespectful to the label. The whole storyline with the song is fictitious, obviously, you know, but yeah, I thought that it was, to me, it represented a big fuck you to the label in the industry.
It is one of your biggest songs.
It'd been the biggest song. I said, well, goddamn. And that's the truth.
Yeah. Launching Bruno Mars' career. I mean, like you said, I don't know if people know. I mean, he was I think he's from Hawaii, and he's performing with it, you know, performing with his band, and he hadn't had the level of success. Obviously, he's huge. He's about to go on tour now again with Anderson .Paak. But did you know? I mean, what did you know about Bruno Mars? Did you know anything about Bruno Mars?
Nah, they were just because they were being introduced to me as Phil and Bruno. That's the way that they were referred to. So. No, they hadn't done anything. I think that they were just kind of writers and producers and doing stuff here and there and moonlighting around, and but had a good vibe, had some good ears and good instincts, and you know, the label thought enough of them to introduce them to me you know, at the time, and I basically befriended them, and I felt like I was I didn't know them from anything else, so I felt like I was taking them under my wing, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And allowing them to, you know, apprentice me, you know, if you will. And so, you know, one of his earlier songs, Just the Way You Are, he wrote that for me. That was supposed to be my song.
That's what I was like, and I was about to ask you, that song is 21 times platinum.
Yeah.
And he wrote it for you. Why did you turn it down?
Because I don't really like R&B.
Also, Pharrell Williams wrote Happy.
For me. What can I say, man?
It just wasn't meant to be, see.
It wasn't meant to be. Well, Just the Way You Are, I felt like it was too soft and some other shit. I'm like, it ain't for me. And he did it, and it goes on to be, but it worked for him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm always willing to win, lose, or draw by my decision and integrity. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'll do something off the wall and left field, but if I love it, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, I'm committed to it.
Yeah.
It is what it is, win, lose, or draw. And I'll live to fight another day.
No regrets about not doing those songs. Because when I look at Happy, I'm like, I'm trying to, because, you know, a lot of times we've heard a lot of like movie roles that such and such turned it down, and you try to go back and envision and play in your head, like, man, could that lady or guy done this role justice? Or you hear songs where he wrote that song for her, or she wrote that song. It's hard for me to imagine after hearing the original artist sing it, even though they wrote it for someone else, that someone else would have. I don't know how with your voice. I don't know how it would have played. Obviously, you can sing.
Yeah, I could have sung it, and I did a version of it.
Right.
But like I didn't love it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And so you got to love it because you got to be passionate.
I gotta love it. But we ended up doing another song that I liked a lot more. It's called "The Other Side." So I'm the only feature on that first album.
Right.
Doo-wops and hooligans.
Wow.
And then with Pharrell, he came. I was recording Lady Killer, and he came to the Bahamas to see me.
Yeah.
And the way that he pitched that record to me was like, yo, I'm doing the Despicable Me soundtrack, and here's a record idea that I have, and I want you to sing it. So he played it for him. I'm like, cool. But in my mind, I'm thinking it's child's play. I'm like, okay, it's for a kid's movie.
Right.
I didn't really know how to really take it, but so seriously.
Right.
I'm like, all right. So, but I'm here to do another project, so I'll get to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we'll do it because I love Pharrell, and I'm saying all of these things respectfully.
Yeah.
So, but when he decided to keep it for himself and make it a single, he had come to the label for clearances, and I didn't get the memo. You know what I'm saying? If I had known that it was something that he felt that strongly about, I would have done it personally for him.
Just for him.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But then, I feel like his generosity, and selflessness is what made that song the success that it is, because he was willing to give it all up. But the catch to it is he owns 100% of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he wrote it and produced it. So I just would have been working for him to sing the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You wouldn't have got you got a little bread out of it, right?
I'm sure we would have negotiated something, but I'm trying to almost like speak from a technical, logistical perspective where people can kind of see what ends up being these determining factors, or how the esteem is curbed. You know what I'm saying? Or the enthusiasm is curbed. It's like, I don't what can I,
You created a song for Robin Williams. You said, life reminds me of Robin Williams. We've got to laugh the pain away.
Yeah. So I feel like, first of all, I love Robin Williams, one of the all-time favorite comedians and all-time greats.
One of the great actors, because he has range. People don't realize how, because they think he's just funny. He came to life on Mork and Mindy. He started with the Happy Days, and then he got his own show, Mork and Mindy, and people just think, he had incredible range.
Oh, I was in love with him after Mork and Mindy, and for some reason I always watched for him. Mm-hmm. What's this guy up to? Mm-hmm. And I think the next big thing he did after Mork and Mindy was Popeye. Mm-hmm. You remember that?
Yep.
Him and
then what? Shelley Duvall.
And then there was another movie, The World According to Garp. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I remember the commercial campaign. It was the music that was playing. It just reminded me of him, and it was "When I'm 64" by the Beatles. Okay. But I didn't know that was them. I just remember. And anybody you probably could go back and find all those commercials on YouTube somewhere, and you'll see it. But it sounded the music sounded so whimsical, like him. And I said, if he's going to be in it, it's probably going to be good. Right. So you're right. What Dreams May Come. All the many things that he's done. He's one of our all-time. He's supreme. Yeah. Robin Williams. So when he passed, it was really hurtful for me, because I'm like, it's like the laughter dies. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and so much wisdom and so much, so much color. It's like everything just goes black for a moment. Yeah. And I'm like, the producer I was working with on this record, he had the idea, but he kind of wrote it. And I was like, that ain't really deep enough. You sound like a young kid. You got an idea. I can't even remember his name. I'm sorry to be disrespectful to him, but I said, you got the right idea. I said, but give me an opportunity to rewrite it for myself. Right. So I rewrote it and I personalized it. I was like, yeah, this is how I feel. I feel about it. And the video was amazing too. So a lot of people don't know that record, but he said something really great once before. He said, man, like, I laugh and I want to make the world laugh because I know what it is to be in pain silently. And if I could, help alleviate that, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, like for people, then that would have been, you know what I'm saying, like well worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, I can relate to that.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because we like to do something before two something.